preacher sat beneath the endless sky and asked the question every soul asks why. If all is vapor, what is left to hold? What outlasts the silver and the gold? I have seen the sun rise and the sun go down, rushing back to where it first was found. The rivers run into the endless sea, and still the sea is never full and free. Generation comes and generation goes, the earth remains when everything else flows. And in the middle of the turning and the ache, I found the one no vanity could take. You gathered wisdom like a field and tested every pleasure for its yield. He built and planted, gathered silver song. He held it all and found it did not belong to the deepest place. The human heart requires it, satisfy the surface, not the fires. The burning deep within the chest of man that only God himself was meant to span. Vanity of vanities, the preacher cried, but underneath the vanity he tried to find the thread of meaning running through. And every thread he followed led to you, not the sun beneath which all things fade, but the one by whom the sun itself was made. The fear of God is where the wisdom starts, and worship is the anchor of all hearts. Under the sun and above it, you are the constant thing. Under the sun and above it, you are the Lord and King. Everything beneath the sky will pass like morning mist, but you remain when nothing else exists. Under the sun and above it, vapor turns to praise. Under the sun and above it, you are the ancient of days. We are not chasing wind when we are chasing you. You are the only thing beneath the sun that's true. Under the sun and above it, you reign. There is a time for everything he wrote, a season stitched inside the turning coat. A time to plant and time to pull the root, a time for silence and a time to hoot, a time to mourn and time to rise and dance, a time for war and time for holy chants. But in the center of the turning wheel is the God who makes the turning something real. He set eternity inside the heart of man, a longing that no earthly season can contain or satisfy or put to rest. The endless placed inside the finite chest. So we reach and reach beyond the visible, beyond the measurable and divisible, toward the one who placed the longing there, the God who answers every breathless prayer. Vanity of vanities, the preacher cried, but underneath the vanity he tried to find the thread of meaning running through. And every thread he followed led to you, not the sun beneath which all things fade, but the one by whom the sun itself was made. The fear of God is where the wisdom starts, and worship is the anchor of all hearts. Under the sun and above it, you are the constant thing. Under the sun and above it, you are the Lord and King. Everything beneath the sky will pass like morning mist, but you remain when nothing not the fear that drives us far away, but the holy reverence that teaches us to stay close to the one who wove the fabric of our days and deserves the whole of all our living praise. To a better fall than one alone, for when one falls the other finds the bone of strength to lift and carry through the night. And a cord of three's not broken in the fight, but the third strand is the one who holds it all, the God who catches every stumbling fall, who walks beside us through the turning years and turns the vanity to worship through our tears. Under the sun and above it, we have found our rest. Under the sun and above it, you have given best, not the best of circumstance, a comfort built on sand, the best of knowing we are in your hand. Under the sun and above it, all is well with us. Under the sun and above it, in you we place our trust. We are not chasing when we are chasing you. You are the only constant underneath the blue. Under the sun and above it, you reign. Under the sun and above it, forever you remain. The preacher sat beneath the endless sky and asked the question every soul asks why. If all is vapor, what is left to hold? What outlasts the silver and the gold? He made everything beautiful in its time. That is the preacher's unexpected line. After all the vanity and the ache, he found a beauty God refused to break. The crooked and the straight are in his hand, the mystery too vast for man to understand. But this one thing was planted like a seed, eternity inside the chest of need. We cannot see the whole from where we stand. We hold one thread of an enormous strand. The work of God from the beginning to the end is past the corner any eye could bend. And yet the longing rises every dawn, the sense that there is something to press on toward, beyond the meal, beyond the task, a glory too magnificent to ask. So I will eat the bread with joy today and drink the portion that is mine to weigh, not in despair but in the reverent awe of one who knows the giver of it all. Not grasping at the vapor as it flies, but lifting grateful and surrendered eyes to the God who made the seasons and the years, who placed the ache of heaven in our tears. Eternity inside the chest, that is the signature of God's behest. He made us for a world that has not come yet. He gave us eyes to see beyond the sunset. Eternity inside the chest, the longing tells us we were made for best, not best of earth, but best of what is real. The kingdom that the heart begins to feel when worship opens up the inner door and the eternal becomes what we crouching fear of one who hides his face, not the dread that keeps a servant from his place, but the trembling wonder of the one who understands that the universe is cupped in holy hands. It is the awe that rises in the chest when the magnitude of God is unexpressed by any word that human lips have formed. The fear of God is where the soul is born. The preacher tried the lecture halls of wisdom. He tested every theory, every school, and came back from the farthest edge of learning with the simplest and the most profound of rules. Fear God and keep His commandments, He declared, for this is the whole of every man and woman. They're not the accumulation of our brilliance, but the bowing of the heart before the air. The fear is not the ending, but the entrance into the widest life that can be found. It is the door that opens into wonder. It is the place where worship is unbound. The fear of God is not a cage to live in. It is the field from which the harvest grows. It is the riverhead of all the wisdom that the man who walks with God eventually knows. The fear of the Lord is this, the beginning of the holy. The fear of the Lord is this, He alone is worthy. When we stand before the God of all the ages, not as masters of a small and crafted story, but as creatures knowing well the weight of glory. The fear of the Lord is this, we are not the center. The fear of the Lord, we alone enter the deepest room inside the human longing. The fear of the Lord is this, and this is everything. The fear of the Lord is where we learn to sing. Do not be rash before the Lord with your mouth. Do not let your heart rush words to Him in haste. For God is in the heavens and you on the earth, so let your very words be few and placed. With care and reverence and the weight they carry, when spoken into the presence of the King. The one who guards His mouth and guards His spirit will find the fear of God a holy spring. And where you make a vow before the Lord, do not delay to pay it. It is sword that cuts the one who promises and turns from the living God who waits and discerns. Better not to vow than vow and break it. Better silence than the empty pledge of air. The fear of God is rooted in the honoring of every word we speak inside His care. That fear is not the ending, but the entrance into the widest life that can be found. It is the door that opens into wonder. It is the place where worship is unbound. The fear of God is not a cage Job said it and the Proverbs echoed clear, and Ecclesiastes brings it home right here, that wisdom is not built upon the clever mind. Wisdom is the God-fearing heart that walks behind the one who made the morning and the evening star, who knows the where and why of everything we are, and calls us to the ancient and the holy path of fearing Him who holds the aftermath. Fear the Lord and live inside the fullness. Fear the Lord and find the days are long, not in dread but in the daily wonder of the God who turns our fragile life to song. Every sunrise is a mercy we did not earn. Every evening is a grace we did not deserve. And the one who walks in reverence sees the gift in the ordinary days. The fear will live. Fear of the Lord is this. We are finally free. The fear of the Lord is this. Found our identity, not in what we built or what the world has offered, not in wisdom gathered from beneath the sun, but in the holy reverence that kneels and offers everything to the Almighty Holy One. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant beneath the open sky, a time to weep and a time to dance and rise, a time to search and time to close the eyes, and let the one you found become your rest. A time for every season, east to west. And in the center of the turning of it all is the God who keeps you standing, keeps you tall. A time for war and time for holy peace, a time to hold and time for full release, a time for silence and a time to let the word rise up inside the throat until it's heard. A time to scatter stones and time to build, a time to mourn and time to be fulfilled by the joy that only morning brings. On the other side of all the winter things, He has made each season beautiful in turn. He has built a lesson into all we learn. From the weeping comes the wisdom of the ground. From the silence comes the hearing of the sound of God moving through the ordinary year, of God turning what seems lost into the clear. Evidence of someone managing the whole, someone who is shepherding the soul. A time for every season, and you are Lord of all. A time for every season, the rising and the fall. We are not adrift inside the turning of the year. We are held by the one who keeps the calendar. A time for every season, your purpose runs through each. A time for every season, nothing is out of reach of your sovereign and your tender, careful hand. The God who made the seasons makes us stand through every time and every turning of the earth. A time for every season. Every season holds your worth. Two are better than one, walking through the seasons. When one falls, the other lifts the frame. And though the enemy may overpower the single, two standing back to back will not be slain. And a cord of three strands woven in the spirit will not be quickly broken by the storm. For the third strand is the Lord who binds the covenant and keeps His people together and warm. Better a poor and wise young man than a king who will no longer listen to the hearing of the sound of God moving through the ordinary year, of God turning what seems lost into the clear. Evidence of someone managing the whole, someone who is shepherding the soul. A time for every season, and you are Lord of all. A time for every season, the rising and the fall. We are not adrift inside the turning of the year. We are held by the one who keeps the calendar. A time for every season, your purpose runs through each. A time for every season, nothing is out of reach of your sovereign and your tender, careful hand. The God who made the seasons makes a stand through every time and every turning of the earth. A time for every season. Every season holds your worth. Cast your bread upon the water, says the wise. For after many days you will find the rise of the harvest you had trusted to the deep. The seed you scatter faithfully to keep. Faith in the God who manages the seasons, who brings the clouds and rain for his own reasons. You do not know the path the Spirit takes, the way the wind blows, or the dawn that breaks. So work the morning and the evening too, for you do not know which labor God will use. Plant the seed in every willing ground, for in the multitude of seeds fruit is found. And let the light be sweet before your eyes, and walk in every season with the wise remembrance that the seasons all belong to the God who turns the morning into song. A time for every season, he has purposed them in love. A time for every season, ordered from above. Every spring that follows winter was his promise. Every morning after dark was his design. A time for every season. Before the silver cord is ever loosened, before the golden bowl is cracked and gone, before the pitcher at the fountain breaks in pieces, and the wheel beside the well has ceased to run, before the dust returns to what it was before, and the spirit goes to God who gave it breath. Remember your Creator in the morning. Remember him in every step you take. The preacher saw the young men in their glory and said, enjoy the light of your good days, but know that God will bring you to the reckoning for every deed done underneath the sun's bright gaze. Not threat but invitation to the holy, not warning alone but wisdom for the road. The one who learns to walk with God while young will carry lighter every sacred load. So before the evil days arrive, before you say I find no pleasure here, remember the creator of the morning. Remember the one who made the atmosphere. Not in fear of what is coming after, not in dread of the diminishing of days, but in the joy of knowing that the Maker is the also the sustainer of always. Remember your Creator, He has not forgotten you. Remember your Creator, every promise holds and proves. He was there before the first of all your mornings. He will be there when the last of them has gone. Remember your Creator, you were made with care. Remember your Creator, He is always there in the seasons that are golden and the bare ones, in the full of life and in the letting go. Remember your Creator, this is wisdom's home. Remember your Creator, you are not alone. The one who breathed the breath of life in Adam is the one who holds and keeps and calls you His own. I've seen the righteous and the wicked both beneath the sun, and both have breathed their last. And I have seen that God will judge the matter, the things that rushed ahead and things that passed. But this I know, the one who sits in judgment is the one who paid the cost He would require. The judge became the sacrifice on Calvary and satisfied His own consuming fire. So I will not despair beneath the vapor, I will not be undone by the unknown. I will hold the bread with joy and share the table with the ones that God of heaven calls my own. For the living know that they will die, but after, there is the one who overcame the grave. And everything the preacher said was pointing to the one whose resurrection life He gave. And so before the evil days arrive, before you say I find no pleasure here, remember the Creator of the morning. Remember the one who made the atmosphere. Not in fear of what is coming after, not in dread of the diminishing of days, but in the joy of knowing that the Maker is the also the sustainer of always. Remember your Creator, He has not forgotten you. Remember your Creator, remember your Creator, every promise holds and proves. He was there before the first of all your mornings. He will be there when the last of them has gone. Remember your Creator, you were made with care. Remember your Creator, He is always there in the seasons that are golden and the bare ones, in the full of life and in the letting go. Remember your Creator, this is wisdom's home. Remember your Creator, you are not alone. The one who breathed the breath of life in Adam is the one who holds and keeps and calls you His own. Vanity of vanities, the preacher cried, but listen to the undertow that hides beneath the cry. It is the voice